Dr. Jeffrey Alegun and soon to be Dr. Noah O'Dell.
All right, good evening, everybody. My name is Jeff Alegun, and this is Noah O'Dell, and we are the co-class representatives of the class of 2024. And on behalf of the whole class, we want to thank everybody for coming out and celebrating this, momentous occasion where we celebrate our class's accomplishments. And we're just going to give a little prelude or tribute to our, experience here in New York Med. And first, we're going to start with our first year, and we get to Noah to start off.
Thank you, Jeff. First of all, I just want to say that I think my fiance is recording this. So to my mom, I'm sorry I told you this would not be a big deal in the evening. I had no idea this was going to happen. So, all right, moving on. Just to talk about the first year of our experience. So if you guys can think back all the way to October of, 2020, right? We started interviewing at different schools all over, wherever it could be, all over the nation. It could have been all over the regional area, but all of us somehow ended up here at New York Medical College. And wow, what a journey it has been. But I remember meeting Marissa on my interview, and we have been friends since October and ever since. And I'm so thankful for our friendship, and also just for anybody else who saw somebody on their interview that they eventually became friends with and had a bond with. That was such a great memory. So we met people that would become our friends during the interview process. We also, I think a couple of the faculty mentioned, we were a part of the Zoom University School, whether it was hybrid and some Zoom classes, but we started anatomy for the first time, and we touched cadavers for the first time for a lot of us, and it was a gamut of experiences, that's for sure. I'll never forget turning them over for the first time. That was something else. We also had kinesiology, our first official class with Dr. DeLotte. We got into lab groups with anatomy, and we also got one-on-one partners for the first time. And we had to get to know them very quickly because we were going to be, as Dr. DeLotte would put it, appreciating a lot of structures on that. So that was a great memory as well. We also, in the first year, as much as there were many highs, getting introduced to each other and getting to know each other, there was a lot of hardship as well, because that first year we had to go through the fall. And the fall was neuro and, physiology with Dr. Thompson. That was a lot. And you'll be seeing some stuff on the slideshow, but that was a time where we were studying so hard, and we were like, man, are we going to get through this program or not? And there was a lot of hardship there, but we're all here today, so congrats to each and every one of you on passing that semester. In that same semester, though, we also, in my opinion, had one of the greatest experiences in this program, which was ICS with Dr. Ronan, who's not here with us today, but she made ICS, along with the other TAs that helped us out. What a great experience that was, because it really helped me personally prepare me for my first clinical, which was handling patients in the inpatient environment. So thanks to her for doing that, and that was also a great class where we just got to get that first taste of hands-on experience of in-person clinical skills, which was really cool. And of course, something that me and Jeff, I guess, we like to talk about it to each other, but we're also proud of it as class reps. We were happy to be able to work with Dr. Majak to get the white coat ceremony done in person for you guys to share with your families and your friends. So even though that whole year was Zoom, we got that white coat ceremony in person. It was like a glimmer of hope for the future for all of us. So,
okay,
Jeff, we'll talk about you too.
All right, so thank you, Noah, for the memories about year one. So year two. So a lot of things happened in year two, as you guys know. Obviously, we lost Dr. Majak as well as Dr. Ronan, unfortunately. But we gained some new faculty and staff we want to acknowledge. So first, we want to acknowledge Dr. Sheehan. as well as Dr. Pichol, Dr. Santamaria, as well as Dr. Rivera, who obviously are not here. But we want to thank Dr. Pichol for giving us a discount for CPR, as well as teaching the CPR course, which really helped us to obviously get recertified. As well as Dr. Sheehan for CDM, Dr. Santamaria for PEDS, and Dr. Rivera for helping us prepare for our competency exam. So we just want to thank them and acknowledge that. So year 2 obviously had a lot of ups and downs too. First we kind of were introduced to the PBL format. I think we all know that that's the reason why we came to the school. But when we first got into our PBL class, we kind of were like, okay, this is PBL. But overall, PBL really taught us to be independent researchers and to be able to apply the knowledge of which we gained through our clinical experiences. And obviously we took that experience through our first and second clinicals, which we were able to get through, obviously. And yeah, we're here right now and celebrating where we are right now. Noah, is there anything else you want to add to? All right, cool. So Noah's going to be talking about year 3.
When we came back from our clinicals from like year 2 into year 3, it was just such a jump for me in terms of talking to each and every one of you about like our knowledge base. Like when we were first starting in year 1, we were kind of all figuring things out, figuring out anatomy, figuring out physiology. But when we came back from clinicals, everybody was talking about the future and what we were going to be as clinicians and how exciting that was, future jobs potentially, what we had learned throughout. I think we've been through like 3 or 4 clinicals at that point. So we had that full gamut of experiences, and it really just transformed all of us into where we are going into our graduation. So having those conversations with you guys was really like, it kind of put me in a position of like, wow, like we've really come so far. And I've had my own personal experience. When I was in clinicals, I talked to my CIs, and they were telling me that like, whenever they had NYMC students, they said that the NYMC students were more prepared than any of the students that they had coming into the clinical experiences. And they said they attributed that not only to just the base of academic knowledge we have, but also the PBL, because we got to get that hands-on, or I guess I wouldn't call it hands-on, but more like the true case-based scenarios that not other programs really do. And so, I appreciated my CIs for saying that because it really spoke to the actual program of this school. Our documentation skills, even though we went through a lot with that as well. Dr. Rittenberg and everyone else who helped out with documentation really hammered those skills into us. It really made us to be better clinicians, even though we were sitting there in clinicals, I'm sure for the first time, looking at an EMR, which is where we do our documentation, by the way, and we were just like, googly eyed or something, just like, what is going on? So, that experience though, it probably set us up better than anything else would have. So all of those things said, I think like all of us as a group, we're so prepared to go into the future, and I'm so excited for each and every one of you. I'm so excited to hear about all of your life experiences and work experiences as we head into this profession. So yeah, I'm going to hand out to Jeff for some final remarks.
All right, so yeah, we just want to just speak to our class and just say that, as we depart from New York Medical College, we're going to be great clinicians. Obviously remember all the things that we learned in New York Medical College and applying to the patients in which we see. And remember to be champions within your own communities and the jobs in which you take up. And the future is ours, so we just got to take it and be confident in who we are and what we stand for. And we also want to thank all the faculty and staff for these past 3 years. Obviously, Dr. Vlad for taking the role as being the director when Dr. Majak left. You've done an amazing job, as we all can obviously attest to. So let's give her a round of applause. As well as Dr. Curtis, again, Dr. Kishal and Dr. Sheehan, Dr. Gronsky, as well as Dr. Wilson. And obviously all the faculty and staff who are not here, we just thank you guys for everything, and we just know that everything you instilled in us is we're going to take with us in the future and obviously be better clinicians. So thank you. And now, what we've all been waiting for. So here we're about to play a slideshow just about all the memories in which we shared these past 3 years. Just a disclaimer, you guys sent these photos in. So if there's any, harsh feelings, just know that it was your fault. So without further ado, here we go.